Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. Guys, in this video, I will be discussing most asked DBMS interview questions in TCS. So guys, recently only I made a video on most important Java interview questions and the response was very great on that video and you all requested me to make videos on DBMS as well as on other subjects also. So guys, in this video, I will be talking about the most important questions of DBMS and in coming videos, I will be discussing the most asked SQL queries as well as most asked coding questions in TCS interviews for prime role as well as digital role. So do not miss any updates that are present on this channel because we are also continuously uploading different interview experiences for different profile in TCS. Okay, and if you want to get timely updates, be present on this channel. Please hit that like button as well as subscribe button for this channel because it motivates us for making more such videos. And guys, we are also taking mock interviews for different profiles of TCS, whether it is Ninja, Digital or Prime. So if you're not confident about your interview and you don't want to do any mistakes in your actual interview, do give us the mock interview. We will highlight the gaps. We will highlight the area of focus for you. Okay, all the links for booking these slots are given in the description box. So make sure that you book your slot as soon as possible because all the slots are limited. So guys, now let's continue on this video and let's just see what are the different types of questions in DBMS that are asked in TCS interviews. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so guys, the first question that is very much important as per the DBMS is concerned is what are DDL, DML and DCL commands. So first, let's understand their full form. DDL command stands for data definition language. DML command stands for data manipulation language and DCL command stands for data control language. So DDL commands are examples are create, alter and drop. If you will look closely, so we have in databases we have a particular schema, okay, that this is the row, this is the column and these values it will contain. So if any changes by any command, the changes are done on the schema, that is any physical appearance of the schema changes. For example, if you alter a column, so earlier it was containing only integer values, now it will be start containing the string values, then uh, it is known as the detail commands. Or if this particular column is deleted from here and only two columns are remaining, so there is a physical change in the schema here, that is appearance change in the schema. So these are all coming under the detail commands. So define and manage database structure, so those commands which change the structure of the database are known as DDL commands. Okay, now coming to the DML commands, data manipulation language, that is manipulate data within the database. So let's suppose now we have a table. Okay, we have a table. Okay, two columns are there, three columns are there. Here value is A, here value is B, here value is C. Now what I do update. I update this value to C to D. Okay, and what I do next, I next insert a row. So insert let's suppose E, F, G. So now what I am doing, I am updating or inserting the data inside a data structure. So any command that is manipulating the data, not the structure, but the data, then it is known as DML command. So examples of DML commands are insert, update or delete, because all these operations happens on data, not on the schema of the database. So any command that changes the schema of the database or it changes the structure of the database, it is known as DTL command. Any command that manipulates the data, it's known as DML command. Next is DCL command, that is data control language. So there is only two commands in this, grant or revoke. I can grant permission to a user on this table. I can revoke the permission of a user from this table. So I am granting some permission, I am revoking some permissions. So this is the example of DCL command, that is control access to database, that which user can access the database, which user cannot access the database. Okay, so these are the examples of detailed DML and DCL commands. So I hope this question is clear to you. Moving ahead, next question is differentiate between delete, truncate and drop commands. So let's just first understand what are the what is every command. So what is delete command? So delete command is if we have a schema, okay, if we have a schema, okay, here values A, B, C. Now I want to delete this row. I want to delete this row. So in this case, I will be using the delete command. I want to delete this row. Next is after deleting this row, what will happen? If I let's suppose if I have two rows here, so A, B, C, D, E, F. Now I want to delete this row. So after deleting this row, what will happen? I will in this particular database only one row will be there. In this particular table only one row will remain, that is A, B, C, D, E, F I have removed. So this is what a delete command does. It deletes one row. Okay. Next is the truncate command. What does truncate commands do? If I will use the truncate command, let me just remove it. Okay. If I will do the truncate command, it will delete all the rows from the table at one row. So if we have a database table, okay, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Okay, so there are three rows here. If I will use the truncate command, what will happen? It will delete all the rows at once, and our table will become empty. Table will become empty. Now this table contains zero values. Okay, so this is what a truncate command is. Next, talking about the drop command, what will happen to the drop command? Now again, if we have a table, let's suppose again A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. If I use it drop command, then what it will do? It will delete the data as truncate command do. Plus, it will delete a table also. So after drop command, no table will be there. After truncate command, empty table was remaining, but after drop command, the structure of table will also get deleted. Okay, so let's just now understand the difference. So delete command removes specific row from the table. Truncate remove all the rows from a table. Drop removes all the rows from the table and the table also. So I hope the difference is clear. Now there are some more difference. So delete is a DML command, as I have told you, manipulation of the data. Truncate and drop are the DDL command. Okay, DDL commands. So DML command, it will be rolled back. It cannot be rolled back. It is irreversible operation. Efficiency, the since it is deleting row by row, so it is slow, very slow. It is a bit fast from delete command, and drop is the fastest, okay, among all three. So these are some of the differences between delete, truncate and drop. So I hope this question is also clear to you. Okay, moving ahead. Next is, what is the difference between primary key and foreign key? Okay, let's just understand with the help of a diagram again. What is the difference between primary key and foreign key? Now let's just suppose we have a column name ID, name, okay, ID, name, and let's suppose address. So ID we have one, name we have A, address we have, let's suppose, AJ. Okay. Now there is a second row also which has ID2. Name is again A, and block is, let's suppose, AF. Okay. Now what will happen? See, how will we uniquely identify a row? I want to fetch this particular row. I want to fetch this particular row from this database. How will I fetch it? This is where the primary key will play an important role. So primary key is used for uniquely identify each record in a table. Okay, primary key is done on a column. This ID is a primary key column. It cannot contain null values. Okay, only one primary key is there in a one table. Okay, must be a unique within table, because if I want to uniquely identify a row, then a unique number should be associated with that particular row. If you will see, one is a unique number that is associated with this row, two is the unique number which is associated between on this row. So this is the unique number. So this is the primary key column. ID is the primary key column. It should follow these things. It must be a unique for every row, cannot contain null values, only one primary key per table. Okay, and automatically indexed by default ID column in user table. Yeah, just like I have told you, that ID column in the user table. This is what a primary key is. Okay, I hope this thing is clear to you. Now what is a foreign key? Let's just delete this. Let's just make a new table. What does we mean by a foreign key? So foreign key here is ID. Again, I am making the same user and then address, and uh, let's suppose we have ID that this user studies this subjects. Okay, now let's just add one row. One, username is A, address is AJ, user ID is 1, subject is, let's suppose, maths. Now see, I want to fetch what I need to find that this ID, this user with ID 1, which all subject it reads. Okay, there can be one more row here, that is ID again 1, that is the user ID 1, and he studies English also. Okay, so I need to fetch that what all subjects are studied by this user 1. So in this case, the data is present in two different tables. I need to join these tables to get the result. So therefore I will use the concept of foreign key. So here in this table we have a primary key of ID column, as I just told you, and here you can see that this column will become foreign key. So foreign key of one table is the primary key of another table. Through this particular column only, the relationship between these two tables are established. Okay, when I will join these two tables, so it will be joined based on the primary key and foreign key. Okay, here also it is written that foreign key establishes a relationship between two tables, references a unique key another table. Okay, unique key by here means primary key. Foreign key can contain null value. This is also an important question. Primary key cannot contain null values. Foreign key can contain null value. Okay. Only one primary key is present in per table, but there can be multiple foreign keys present in a particular table. Let's suppose there is one ID also, teacher ID. Okay, teacher ID, and there is one table which contains details of teacher. So here teacher number 2, teacher number 2, teacher number 3 here, and here is teacher ID name. So here is 1 2. So this is also a foreign key, and this is also a primary key. So you can see that this primary key is linked with this foreign key, and this foreign key is linked with this primary key. So in a particular table there can be multiple foreign keys also, so that we can join these tables. So I hope now the concept of primary key and foreign key is clear to you. If you have reached the video till here, I hope you are finding it useful. Please hit the like button as well as subscribe button, because every like and subscribe gives us motivation for making more such videos, and I will continue to make these videos for your TCS preparation. So please hit that like and subscribe button. Now let's move ahead. Okay, so the next question is, what are the different types of joins in SQL? So there are four major types of joins. There is left join, right join, inner join, full join. By diagram itself, it is clear. First of all, why we use join to join two tables and extract results from the combined result set of two tables. Now, for diagram itself is clear that what left join does. So consider this as left table. This is a left table. This is a right table. So when we will do the left join, then all the rows which are present in the left table will be given to us, and all the rows which are common in left table and right table will be given to us. So left join is the data from left table plus the rows which are common in left table and right table. Okay, with the help of this Venn diagram it will be very clear. Again, similarly is the right join. So right join all the rows from the right table plus the rows which are common from in the right table and left table. Okay, inner join only gives the rows which are common in the both the tables. Okay, both the tables, if the rows are common with the particular primary key and foreign key relationship, then this is an inner join. Full join is all the rows from the left table, all the rows from the right table plus the rows from the which are common in left table plus right table. So these are what joins in a simple term. Okay, you can explain similar things to the interviewer and he will be happy. Moving ahead to the next question, what are different types of constraints in SQL? So constraints in SQL, so all these constraints are at the column level. Okay, so if we have, let's suppose if we have a column, let's suppose 5 columns are there, 1 2 3 4. Okay, any column names you can give on your own. So this column might have a not null constraint. Okay, not null constraint. This column might have a unique constraint. This column might have a primary key constraint. This column might have a default constraint. So let's just study each of these constraints in detail. First is a not null. Ensures that a column cannot contain null value. So if this has a not null, so any value inside this column cannot be null. Unique means that any value inside this particular column must be unique. It can be null, but it should be unique. There cannot be duplicate values in this column. Okay. Next is primary key. Primary key is nothing but a combination of not null plus unique constraint, because in unique constraint we can have not null values, but primary key is the combination of not null plus unique, that all the values inside this column should be unique and not null also. Okay, and because it helps us to uniquely identify a row, primary key helps us to do that. Okay, next is foreign key. I have already told you what a foreign key is. Establish a relationship between two tables so that we can join the tables and we can fetch the results from these tables. Next is the check constraint. So what does a check constraint does? Specifies a condition that each row must satisfy. So let's suppose if I have a column on, in that if I will, let's suppose I do a check operation that age is the column and all the age should be greater than or equal to 18. So any value that is going inside this age column will be checked against this function, that value should be greater than or equal to 18. If it is less than 18, then that value will not be entered in that column and we will get an error. But if it is greater than 18, then that value will be entered inside that column. So this is what a check constraint does. Next is default. So if we pass any null value, so if we have given that a particular column will have default value of 8, default value of 8. Okay, so if we pass any value, then that value will be entered into that. But if we pass we try to enter a null value into that column, then by default value 8 will be given there. Okay, so I hope this all constraints are clear to you. Okay, any doubts you can write in the comment section. Moving ahead to the next question is define normalization and why do we use it and its types. A 5-star question that will be asked from you in any interview. This is a 5-star question. Define normalization. Normalization is the process of organizing data in a database to minimize redundancy and dependency. So earlier, what used to happen is we only used to have one database table. Okay, one database table, and all the data of any user goes here, like his age also, his address also, his teacher also, his course code also. All these things will be presented into a single table. But what does normalization has done is that breaking of this last table into two small tables, so that redundancy of the data, that is the repetition of the data, can be handled. So this table got broke into two tables because of normalization, so that we can simply, if we want to fetch the result, we can simply join these tables and fetch the result. By this, what is happening? The redundancy is removing, that is, this duplication of data is getting removed from these tables. Okay, why do we use it? Since we are breaking into the smaller tables, so it will help us in improving data integrity, reduce anomalies, and optimize database structure. The fetching will become fast, because see, if only one table we have and thousands of records are there, then it will take us time to fetch the data. But if we have small tables and simply we are joining them, then it will only take us in milliseconds, it will take us to fetch the data. So two major things: reduce the redundancy and optimize the database structure. Okay, how to fetch the results. Now, what are the types of normalization? There is 1NF, there is 2NF, 3NF, and BCNF. So BCNF is the highest form of normalization. I'm just telling you its types. You will have to read their theory part from your own. But this is also an important question here. You will have to read all these normalization forms. I hope this question is clear to you. Now moving to the next question. What is denormalization and when it is used? So again, denormalization. What was normalization? Normalization was breaking of big table into two small tables. Okay, two small tables. What is denormalization? It is opposite. Merging of two small tables into again one big table. Okay, now you will say that why it is used, what is the use of denormalization? So it is used to improve query performance by reducing the needs for join and simplifying data retrieval. So again, data retrieval becomes slightly easier, though it's an expensive operation for to fetch the results from a single table, but it's a easy process to only query a single table. Querying a two different table joins, that is a bit complex procedure, but we can querying a single table is an easy process, though it's some time consuming, but it's a easy process to query a single table. So this is what a denormalization is and its importance. I hope this thing is clear to you. Moving to the next question, that what is transaction in a database? Now this is again an important question. Let me just explain you with the help of an example. So here we start the transaction. Okay, here we are starting the transaction, then we are inserting, then we are inserting in a table, then we are updating in a table, then we are deleting in a table, and then we are stopping the transaction. So what is the use of this transaction? See, this is the first line, this is the second query, this is the third query. So let's suppose this first query is of inserting the row in the table is successful. Okay, then updating that row is also successful, but deleting of that row caused some issues. For example, database went down or some other issue. So deleting became a difficult process. Is an sorry error process that it was not able to complete. Now what will happen? If this entire block is in the transaction, if this entire block is in a particular transaction, then if any of these rows causes any error, then and everything will be rolled back. So if deleting caused the error, then updating will also be rolled back because it was in a transaction, and inserting will also get rolled back. Okay, so in a transaction, either all these operations happen successfully, or neither of them happens. So these operations are treated as a single unit, meaning that either all of them are completed successfully or none of them. So if there are some operations in a transaction, either all of them will be handled successfully or none of them will be handled in the database. Okay, so I hope this now the explanation of transaction is clear to you. Again, I'm telling you, if you have any doubts, you can always write in the comment section. And one more thing to tell you, that we are taking mock interviews for different TCS profiles. If you're not confident about your interview, you can give us the mock interview. The links you'll find in the description box. I hope this transaction question is clear to you. Moving ahead, please hit that like button as well as the subscribe button for this channel. Next is what is indexing and why it is important. Now again, a very important concept. See, we have a database table. Okay, database table. Let's suppose we have, what we have here is a name, and we have total thousands of records. Total, let's suppose 1 lakh records are there in this table. Okay, now there is a query that find now there is a query that find the name of Anmol and find the row corresponding to Anmol. Okay, Anmol, find the name Anmol in this. So how will that query fetch the result from this table? If nothing is given, if it is a normal table, if this is a normal column, then it will do a linear search on 1 lakh of records and find the name Anmol there. Again, I'm telling you, it will do a linear search on this particular column, and it will give us the name, find all the rows which in which Anmol is present. So this is a big O of n operation. Okay, if you understand time complexities, then it is a big O of n. That is, it will take n units of time for first of all for fetching all the rows and finding Anmol from it. So it's a big O of n. Now, if we did indexing on this column, then what it will do, it will store these names in a form of tree. In the form of tree, it will store. Okay. On indexing, it stores in the form of tree. Now, in tree, the searching becomes big O of log n. So for an example, if it were taking 1 second for fetching these rows in linear search, then it will be taking around 0.3 milliseconds in fetching in the tree format. So this is why we do indexing, so that tough searches in a database can be indexed, and their fetching time can be reduced to log n. Okay, I hope this is done. Why it is important? To improve the performance of our application. If any database operation is taking 1 second, and if any database operation is taking 0.2 second, then we will choose this one. And how this is achieved? By doing indexing. What indexing does, it converts linear search into the you can say it stores the information in the tree format, tree structure, and the fetching becomes easy. You can like simply say like this. Okay, I hope this question is also clear to you. Moving ahead, what is a view in a database? So again, it's a bit tricky to explain. It's a big concept. I will try to give this link in the description box. You can go and read it for yourself. Next question is, what are ACID properties? So again, a very 5-star question here. Okay. So ACID properties, A stands for atomicity, C stands for consistency, I stands for isolation, D stands for durable. Now, what are this atomicity? So again, atomicity is similar to transaction. That is, either all the operations within a transaction are completed successfully or none of them. So atomicity and transaction are one and the same thing. Next is consistency. Consistency means that a database remains in a consistent state before and after the transaction. For example, you have a bank account here. There is user 1 that is doing operation on it. There is user 2 doing operation on it. User 1, what does user 1 does? It has a balance of 30 rupees. User 1 debits 5 rupees and user 2 credits 10 rupees. Okay, so before it was 30. After these two operations simultaneously happening, what should be the result here? It should be 35. So this is what consistency is. If you are sending money from one bank account to another bank account, if it has 30, it has 100 rupees, and you are sending 5 rupees, then after the transaction has happened, this account should have 25 rupees, this account should have 105 rupees. So this is what a consistency is before and after transaction. I hope this thing is clear. Isolation. Again, the isolation can be understood with the help of similar example. If two transactions are happening on a same account in a same time, then this transaction should be in isolation and this transaction should also be in isolation. They should not know each other. Okay. Next is durability. Once the transaction is committed, its changes are permanently saved to database even in the event of system failure. So system should be durable. It should be error resistant. You can say simply like that. I hope this question is also clear to you. It is very important as per the interview is concerned. Now, next question, I think it's the last question. Yes. What are triggers? Again, links I will give in the description box. It's a bit tricky to explain here. The videos already got long, but believe me, if you have watched till here, around 70 to 80% of database questions are cleared in the interview because these are very repetitive questions. And again, if you have reached this video till here, then please hit that like and subscribe button. It takes immense effort to make such videos, such long videos, but it will be really helpful for you. So guys, this was it for this video. Thank you for watching this video, and you can book the mock interviews with us if you're not feeling confident about your interviews. Okay, kindly share this video among your friends and do hit that like and subscribe for this channel. Thank you for watching this video. More such videos like on SQL queries, on coding questions I will be posting in future, so be there on our channel.